Bonjour everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing well wherever you are in the world. It is that time of the year again. Today we are going to talk about the trends that we have seen in the fall 2026 menswear collection. And worth mentioning, 55 menswear collection were shown this year, which is a bit behind compared to last year. And houses like Louis V, Gucci or Fendi didn't have any runway collection. That being said, some trends emerged this season and I want to talk about 7 different topics with you today. So we have a lot to cover, so let's get started. And like always, if you like this type of content, don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Okay, topic number one or trend number one is sharper silhouettes. And that's true that after so many years of oversized looks, oversized clothing, oversized silhouettes, it seems like that in this season in particular, many designers have decided to dial back proportions to offer more slim-fitted silhouettes or tailored silhouettes. We indeed saw many refined proportions at Dior by Jonathan Anderson with those slimmer jeans. Apparently, they are back in style on the looks 1 and 3, but also with those very beautiful tailored coats on the look 24 and 40. Saint Laurent by Anthony Vaccarello also gave us some sharper lines that were accentuating the waist of the model, especially with those stunning blazers on the look 11, which is like this very stunning leather piece, and on the look 20. And we can also name Prada here with their tailored coats of the look 2 and 3, but also with their blazers of the look 53 and 54. Even at other brands like Ami Paris, which is well known to provide oversized looks, you really can tell that there is a trend to provide more adjusted clothes. So this season, it really seems like that menswear is reconnecting with classic tailoring to re-put elegance and refinement at the center of the scene, but without forgetting wearability. Okay, trend number 2 is all about reinvented outwear, and this is a fall-winter collection, so obviously there's going to be some emphasis on outwear pieces, but it seems like that from some designers, there were a need to really make some of the pieces more weather-ready, more weather-appropriate. For this one, I must mention Prada first, with their raincoats that were cropped just to protect the upper part of your outfits, like in the looks 12 and 23. And we can also see these trends thanks to the rain-resistant belted overcoats like in the looks 34 and 35 with their matching hats. And in some ways we also saw this crop coat, I guess, situation at the Rick Owens show in the look 11 and 30 that looks like more an armor than a piece of clothes really. Pharrell for Louis Vuitton presented those reversible and utility focused blousons that were perfect for the weather protection and the fit projection, as Vogel said. He also showcased the same reversible system on some speedies and even made some of them water resistance like on the look 55. This reversible outwear was also present at Woo-Young-Mi with those reversible bombers in faux fur like in the looks 7 and 17. At D-Squared, exaggerated volume played a central role of the collection, especially with those huge puffer jackets, and this full collection really was an homage to Heated Rivalry. Have you guys watched the show? Let me know what you think of it in the comment section down below, and also an homage of the Winter Olympics that are still happening as I speak. So with this trend, it seems like that some of the designers wants to share a message that even if the fashion industry in general can appear like a bit redundant, there is still a possibility to innovate and to create exciting pieces. The third trend I have identified here is probably one of the most visible of this particular season and is all about chunky and vintage/retro style knits. They were present in a lot of different runways, but especially at Dries Van Noten when they were kind of everywhere really. We were able to see those at Sacai in the look 21 and 56, but also in the Japanese brand Color by Toro Oriuchi in the look 31 and 36, and also at Paul Smith with the look 19 and 20. And of course, I have to mention Ralph Lauren here with their look 6 and 20 as an example. I also love this vintage polo vibe of the looks 1 and 15. And we were also able to notice some vintage looking polos at the Dolce & Gabbana show in the look 68 and 69. So now it's time to undust your old chunky knits from your attic because those ones are going to be in style at the end of the year. Okay, now this segment is dedicated to which colors are going to be trendy at the end of the year, and I want to preface this category by mentioning that the Pantone color of the year is Cloud Dancer, which is this very specific shade of white. I'm not gonna lie, at first I was a bit surprised by the choice of this color of the year because I felt like we were ready to move away from quiet and calm to enter a more vibrant era. But when I thought about it again, and with the state of the world, let's be honest, and the chaos and the noises and the stability. I also felt like that we also need some comfort and some stability and some calmness, really, which this color is representing. So when I thought about it again, I think this color makes sense for this year. So looking at the collections, it's fair to say that the key shades are still neutrals, which is once again bringing the emphasis on tailoring. We still saw a lot of chocolate brown, especially at Saint Laurent in the look 11 and 13, but also some darker beige or khaki colors, for example at Oralie in the look 1 and 2, and at Our Legacy in the look 55 and 57. And those shades, those colors are definitely central for rugged luxury menswear looks. We also saw a decent amount of sage green during this season, for example at Amiri with the look 24 and 25, but also at Zegna with the look 6 and 29. And I know it was very present during the previous seasons, but we saw still some olive green here and there, for example at Dior. And of course we have seen a lot of grays like at the Officine General show, a lot of navy blue like at Prada, and a lot of black like at Hermès. So with those core colors being still at the center of those collections, it's fair to say that the overall mood was around refined, heritage and understated luxury. However, there is another color family that appears to be everywhere this season, and it's blue. And we have been able to see it in far more expressive version, far more expressive shades than just the classic navy. For example, we have seen electric blue at Oralie on the looks 30 and 45, and also at Egon Lab with those incredible feathers on the look 14 and 15. There were a lot of vibrant blues towards the end of the Giorgio Armani fashion show, especially on those velvet Mao neck shirts. And of course, we have seen many other shades of blue, like this petrol blue at the IM Men show on the looks 9 and 10. Another color that I thought was very present during this season is red, and like electric blue, it's really adding a strategic pop of color to the outfit. And we were able to see red at Ami on the look 16 and 38, at Amiri on the looks 4 and 7, at Wu Yongmi on the looks 1 and 24, and at Louis Vuitton on the looks 38 and 42. So to conclude this color segments, it's fair to say that we are seeing a shift in between total neutrals domination the past few years to 2026, where some neutrals remains obviously, but some strategic and expressive pop of colors are being added to the mix. Okay, trend number 5, and along of the silhouettes that are becoming more and more tailored and the colors that are still very neutrals in most of the collection, we are definitely seeing the presence of a lot of heritage motifs and materials. Like in the previous season, the Prince of Wales patterns is very present for fall 2026, and we can see that for example at the Zegna show in the look 45 and 46. Also at Ami in the looks 23 and 32, at Ralph Lauren in the look 33 and 50, at Officine General in the look 5 and 22, and at the Sakai fashion show in the look 28 and 29. Along with heritage patterns, we have also seen a lot of heritage materials that are deeply rooted in craftsmanship and tradition. We have seen, for example, corduroy at Oralie in the looks 1 and 2, and also at Dries Van Noten in the look 21 and 25. Velvet was also present this season, for example, at Wong Yumi on those suits of the looks 10 and 35, and also at Giorgio Armani on the looks 7 and 8, for example. We have seen suede as well, for example at Zegna in the looks 23 and 39, and also at Hermès in the looks 13 and 14. Leather was a bit everywhere as well this season, for example at Hermès, being the king of leather, nothing surprising here, for example in the looks 5 and 43, but also at Saint Laurent in the looks 17 and 41. And finally, fur or faux fur, I hope, was kind of everywhere this season, for example at Dolce & Gabbana, at D-Square on the silhouette 10 and 18, at Mordecai on the look 14 and 15, and at Feng Shengwang on the look 9 and 15. I hope I'm pronouncing those brands correctly. And last example was at Egon Lab on the look 39. Okay, trend number 6 is about Cowboy Core, and this is not a secret that the fashion industry is obsessed with the western region of the US. I mean, we all remember this collection by Tom Ford for Gucci for spring 2004, which was all about the Texan roots of Tom Ford, and also this fall 2024 collection by Pharrell for Louis Vuitton, which was really about the western region of the US. Well, this season also highlight a lot of cowboy references. In number 1, I will put the Ralph Lauren fashion show who mixed Americana with Western influences. There were so many pieces that echoed the cowboy words, for example, those hats on the look 31 and 36, but also those pants and those boots in the look 29 and 34. So the Western wear and the cowboy culture definitely remains part of Ralph Lauren's menswear DNA. Amiri also had a very Western-inspired energy on his show through more subtle details, for example, those neckties and those boots. And worth noticing, we also saw those neckties at the Feng Chengwang fashion shows, for example, on the look 28 and 32. And last example here, we have also seen this Western homage at the Etude Studio fashion show, especially with those hats and those boots of the look 12 and 18. And by the way, I have something very Western inspired to unbox with you, so stay tuned for my next video. Okay guys, hopefully you are still with me, because for this last segment of this video, of this fall 2026 recap, we are going to talk about bags, and we have seen different type of bags presented during those collections. The first type of bags worth noticing were all of those messengers that can be worn cross-body, both for convenience and style, and we were able to see those type of bags at Dior in different type of material, including suede. We also saw a couples at Dries Van Noten on the looks 18 and 65, but also at Wong Yumi on the looks 12 and 18, and at Etude Studio on the looks 5 and 20. And I believe those bags were part of another trend that they call poet core. The second type of bags that we have seen during these seasons were tote bags, and we have seen those one at Prada, for example. And the particularity of those tote bags is that they were already very slouchy, like already worn, and we have been able to see tote bags as well as the Giorgio Armani fashion show, for example. The third type of bags that has been presented to us this season are all of those duffel / bulling bags, and Dries Van Noten was actually showcasing a lot of them. The models were actually carrying those bags under their arms, and they look very cool with it. That's not the first time that Dries Van Noten was showcasing this type of bags to us. I think it was on the season before and maybe the season before that. So I really want to go in store and check these bags because I'm getting more and more curious about it. At Hermès, the Plume Fourre-tout, which means carry all in French, was definitely the bag of the collection. And we have seen different versions, different sizes, different leather of this Plume Fourre-tout on the runway. For example, we have seen it in this beautiful box leather, but also in Togo leather for a more slouchy effect, also in canvas and in suede, if I remember well. But I have to say that my favorite version was obviously this cassette tape inspired version on this beautiful Barenia leather, which I believe was a really fun take on this bag. And it's impossible to talk about bags without talking about Pharrell at Louis Vuitton, because in every season he's literally blessing us with a ton of new bags. So we were able to see quite a bit of duffel bags at Louis Vuitton as well, for example in the look 32 and 53, and it seems like that one version of the Speedy P9 next season is gonna be in silver. And the fourth and last type of bags I wanted to mention here are vanity cases used as handbags, and I believe this trend is directly coming from the women's wear, because it's been a few years now that women are using vanity case as actual handbags. Well, it seems like the menswear collection are definitely catching up, because we have definitely seen this type of bags on the runway, for example at the Le Mer fashion shows on the looks 10 and 61, and at Prada on the look 5 and 8. It makes me think that I need a new vanity case, a new travel pouch, because mine is really starting to be destroyed, so I should have put that on my wish list. And there you go, here are the main trends that I have identified looking at the fall 2026 menswear collection. Let me know what you thought about this video and about this particular season. Is there like any fashion shows that you liked more than others, or is there any trends that you particularly enjoy that I haven't talked about? Maybe that's the case. So let me know about that in the comment section down below. I always love to discuss with you there. Don't hesitate to give me a like for this video, because it's taking a lot of time to prepare, to film, and most likely to edit. So I will really appreciate that. And besides that, I hope you are doing well wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.